You ever sometimes wonder if what you're doing is really getting you ahead? Sometimes if you feel like doing the same thing over and over and over, it really gets monotonous. And unfortunately, there's a famous saying that Einstein coined, or he phrased, was that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. But we're told from very successful people, in order to be successful, you have to find what works and do that over and over and over. Those two statements can sound contradictory, but I guess the difference is, one, you're seeing results, or you feel like you should see an end result out of it, and the other one, you're just doing the same thing, expecting that there's going to be a change someday. But how do you know the difference? Well, the winter blast is over. That means we don't have to cut ice for a little while. Take exercise, for instance. Sometimes it feels like you're not getting anywhere, but you know there is an end goal, and you know there are results if you keep trying.
One mile in to 5, and you just want to give up because it looks so far ahead. At this point, it's really easy to give up. It's easy to look at what you have going forward and wonder if it's really worth it. And sometimes I do. Almost halfway through, and you can't see the finish line. It makes things really tough to keep going. 3/4 of the way in, with no end in sight, all of your energy is zapped. It makes it hard to finish. And then the last push, the end is in sight, but all your energy is gone. Can you finish strong? I bet they think I'm nuts, going out and running just for fun and not even being chased by anything. It's easy to think that this is the finish line, but in all reality, it's the journey that you went on that counts, and it's the process of the pain, of the learning, that really matters.
It's time to get back to this. I think I have an idea. Much better. Now I need to just smooth it out, and that'll work. Still too gritty. Needs to slide a little bit better than that. That's how we want it. Okay, so here's the gist of it. I want to be able to pull off the center of this and then put arms on either side to be able to spear into the bale. So now we've got to figure out how to put an arm off that side and connect it to this, which will be that larger pipe. Now I need to figure out how I want to spear the bale, and I think I know how I want to do it. Let's go cut that. Everything's notched and fitted. Now it's time to clean it all up before we weld it. Almost got it done, but Heidi said it's time for dinner, so we'll see you guys in the morning. We need to weld everything up now, and then I need to weld some sort of tab or something on the front end of that. That way I'll be able to hook a chain onto it. Done. Let's go see how it works out now. There were two things on this build I was concerned about. One being the spike that goes into the side of the bale. I was worried that it wasn't going to be quite strong enough. Well, it wasn't. If you're wondering how it went, it didn't go that great. So the spike that went into the side of it wanted to bend on one side. And the reason it wanted to bend was something I didn't take into account. Because I was pulling it with a chain and it wasn't fixed to the vehicle, when I started to go downhill, it was rolling on its own without the power of the vehicle. If it was all going uphill, it would have been fine, but because of the jerking back and forth, that caused the pin to bend on one side. Then once the pin bent on one side, I needed to be able to pull it out. So I pulled the other pin out and proceeded to pull the bale mover out, but it was cockeyed underneath the bale with one pin in that I couldn't get it to come out because it was bent. Well, the other thing that I was worried about was these arms, how strong they were. They could take pressure this way, but they can't take pressure side to side. So basically snapped that in half. So we have the pins that are broken and this arm that is broken. So the arms and the pins need to be a lot stronger like I thought, but what I didn't take into account is it needs to be fixed to the vehicle unless I'm going uphill, which I'm not. I'm going downhill with all the bales. So we're gonna go back to the drawing board and redesign the pins, the arms, and connect it to the vehicle. But you know, that's what it's all about. We have to try things and find out if they work or not. I remember a show when I was a kid. It was called Junkyard Wars, I believe. There were two teams and they would go to a junkyard and they would try to build something that would be the challenge. Like for instance, each team would have to build a boat and all they could use was the stuff in the junkyard. And I used to love that concept of trying to figure out things that you already have that you could make useful. And I guess that's all part of the journey. It's not about the bale mover that I built, it's about the story that I created along the way and the things that I learned in order to get there. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Noah Gordon. This is Broken Arrow Bison, and we'll see you next time.